WebRTC is something that, is the most interesting flavor of real-world options for live streaming playback, because it's really the replacement for most of the tech. I'm talking about when you need low latency live streaming, right? And again, I shouldn't, for a lot of the government broadcast work I do, for any kind of webinar formats that I'm doing, even if you have a real-time chat that's a text chat with participants in the live chat, in the live stream, you don't necessarily need low latency, right? It's okay, like if someone's asking questions to a presenter or a moderator, it can be delayed a little bit. It's not the end of the world. But if you're doing a wine auction, a cattle auction, a game show, that you can't have 10-second delays between a question being asked and someone responding to it. So enter WebRTC as a option for reducing that latency, and that's mainly because we've got access to things like UDP now, right? We can at a browser level or not, in a native application stack, we can have libraries that consume WebRTC streams coming out of or data channels, whatever you want to call it, coming out of the server, and we can even do P2P if that's what you want to do, where you just have a server get you to another person, and then you just start transmitting bytes between each other, and you don't even need the server to be there anymore. So there's lots of options with WebRTC. The problem I find with WebRTC is really just that adoption across browsers, right? It's getting better. Apple finally added it to Safari, and more importantly, iOS Safari or mobile Safari last year. So that's adding to the mix now. We can finally start to do more in the browser space, and it supports AES encryption, which is nice. I have a lot of requests. I'm working on a surveillance type of application for one of my clients where encryption is important, and if you're using RTMP, or even RTSP, encrypting those bits with any kind of off-the-shelf SDK can be of a concern, where you get it right away with WebRTC. So that's WebRTC in a nutshell. I believe in it as the future. I believe that you can develop in it now. But again, for anyone that had anything legacy built, this is being built, like when I say legacy Flash, they're building WebRTC on top of that, right? So they're still probably likely maintaining some kind of Flash application that's doing the live streaming for people who have those bits, and people who have WebRTC bits. Great, we'll do that.